This video talks about customizing layouts, and you should see the Aware home screen. And when we talk about customizing layouts, we're going to talk about customizing layouts in the participant module, because that's where the majority of us do our work. So I'm going to navigate over to the participant module. And oftentimes your caseload will be displayed here, but we're not interested in entering into any specific case, but rather we want to hit the Actions button at the top. And we want to go down to Manage Layouts. RC1s, support staff, RC2s all have access to the Manage Layouts button in Actions. Mine seems to be taking some time to load. I think it's probably because it's the test environment. So what you'll see is a page with layouts that you may have already created, or if you haven't created a customized layout, this will be blank, but you will see a big new button, and that's what we're going to select. So here's the first piece to creating a layout. You need to give your layout a unique name, and preferably not my layout, Jeff's layout, more like, what is the layout for? What does it do? What's the purpose? And I'll just do a simple example here. I'm going to say client contacts. So after you've named your layout, this second piece is fairly important, layout group. I'll sort of get more into this, but you have several options here. Most of us are going to spend, when creating customized layouts, most of us are going to want to select case. But you'll see there's others, educational goal, employment, guest access, measurable skill gains, and some other things that we probably don't use, like signable document or wage. The difference between these layout groups is they offer different ways to search and different information to display in the columns to display piece of the layout. Excuse me. But what we'll do is choose case, because that's what I'd recommend selecting if you start using layouts. You could use activity due if you wanted to really customize an activity due to stay on top of all your work. But we'll do case today. And this next part, the layout template dropdown, grabs layouts that you already have access to, and so you can not start from scratch if you don't want to. You can start with layouts and delete certain things that you don't want. And that's what I'm going to do today. I don't want to start from scratch. I want some of this stuff to be pre-populated. So I'm just going to pick a simple layout called caseload open. And then once I have all three of my fields populated, I'm going to go to finish. And this brings up my the layout screen to start to create and customize your layout. First things first, you want to select these checkboxes here. If you don't select this checkbox, available for data page mode, your layout won't appear in the layouts tab. And you also want to select available for export mode. This means you can export your layout to an Excel document or a Word document. So there's three different sections here. There's a search criteria, there's filters, and there's columns to display. And let's see if I can open up another window so we can kind of show you what we're building here. So I'm going to go back into the participant module, and you'll see that there are three tabs at the top here. And we're going to be concerned with the search tab and the caseload open tab. So what this means is the search criteria you see here, we're building this section here. So this is just an example. This isn't my layout. This is just a default layout, caseload open. But again, the search criteria number 2 builds the search tab here. And then this is my layout, and you can see these are called columns to display. To build those, we're completing this section 4 piece, columns to display. So again, columns to display, when we build here, we'll modify and show here in your caseload open layout columns to display results. So I just wanted to kind of show you that so you know what you're building and where the changes can be. This next piece, you can build filters that are built right in. Like this particular one is only going to return cases that are open. This is a little bit more complicated and a little bit more finicky, but for now, I'm going to get rid of that. Well, actually, I'm going to leave. I only care about open cases for my client contact. Oh, I guess I deleted it, but I'll show you here how to get that back, how to do a custom filter. So you open the drop down, I think all open. Where is it? Open. Case status all. And then I'm going to hit the new button. And then here you have options. Case status all equals, does not equal. We're going to say equals all open. So what I'm doing here is I'm creating a predetermined filter. So this will only return open cases automatically. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this new button. And there I've created a filter that is predetermined. Okay, so back to the top. This is my search criteria. There are a lot of different options for the case layout template on ways to search. We're not going to go through all of them, but I would recommend just opening this drop down up and looking at different ways you can search. We're going to keep it simple today. I think I might want to add. So I'm going to get rid of caseload, case status open, because we already have the predetermined filter down here in section 3. Right here, caseload max. Remember, you can search if you have multiple caseloads, like a PE case, you can put multiple caseloads in and return multiple caseloads in your layout. I'm going to go with participant ID. As you can see, all this stuff's in alphabetical order. And that's pretty much all I care about for now. But if you wanted to add more search criteria, like I don't care about case access security necessarily. Maybe I want case type. If I want to add a new one that's an additional field that didn't come over with my template, you can just hit the new, and it will give you a new drop down option. So you can see there's so many here. And sometimes they're phrased weird. So another trick would be to hit, when you have that drop down populated, hit or open, hit Control F, and then you can type in the keyword. Let me type in a keyword here. Hold on. I didn't like email because I think there's a dash. All right, so email. Okay, that's not the one I wanted. Let me try participant. So that gives me all of the options with participant in the title. I guess participant email is not there. It's in there somewhere, but I'm not going to worry about it for this video. So I've got my search criteria. I'm going to get rid of that because all I care about is it populates my caseload, and that's pretty much all I care about. And it's going to just return my open cases. Down here is where I showed the columns to display will populate. So I care about the participant name, the participant ID, the case status. Maybe you don't. Again, you can go over, you can scroll over and delete if none of these make sense to you, or if you don't want to delete, you can just change them. Um, so I'm going to get rid of county because I care more about the contact information. So as I was looking for email up top, I recall email is not a search criteria. But it is a column to display. So let's try that again. I'm going to hit Control F. And I'm going to hit email. And then it's not that one. Participant email address. Yay, found it. So I'm building a layout that's going to show my participant email address. We'll see if there's another one. I want a phone number. Phone. Participant primary phone number. You can see there's other words that come beforehand. So sometimes it's good to search using Control F. Or if I was just typing in participant primary, if I was smart and I remember that's how they phrased it, it could populate that way. So I got a phone number. Maybe I want an address. Maybe I want a mailing address because I don't really care where they live, but I care how I have to get mail to them. So I'm going to add participant mailing address. And then lastly, alert is populated here because I use that caseload open template. I'll just leave that here. So now I've created a layout with my contact information like I wanted. And I'm going to go ahead and hit finish. And you can see that I've got my client contacts layout here. I'm still in the manage layout section. You can open that back up and change it around or add things as you see fit. It's yours. It's only going to appear for you, so you can do whatever you want with this layout. You can add new layouts, so that's totally up to you. So I'm going to go look for this layout on the participant module end. So I'm going to go over to my layout tab. And I'm going to look for client contacts. I might have to actually exit out of here so it populates. If you don't see it, it's likely you got to back out and come back in. So I just clicked finish and I got out of the participant module. But now I'm going to go back in. I'm going to go layout. And I'm going to look for client contacts. And there it is. In alphabetical order, client contacts. I hit apply. It's going to populate my SID automatically because I have that set in my preferences. And here we are. You can see it's got my participant email address. Apparently I didn't enter any in this test environment. It's got the phone numbers and it's got the mailing address. So these are my contacts that I've just created in this client contact layout. But it's a good idea to play around with. You can, again, you can't break it. It's just yours. You can delete it if you want. You just have to go back into manage layouts and then actions, and then you can delete the layout. But again, you can modify it as much as you want. So there it is. That's how to customize a layout. Thank you very much.